All right, what's up, guys?
Hello, hello.
Whoop. All right, tonight we've got a soldier first class who I met through TikTok.
Indeed.
Gonna talk to him a bit about his Wargreymon deck and his history with Digimon and that kind of thing. Soldier, do you want to introduce yourself?
Didn't even practice or anything. Yeah. Hi, I'm Soldier. I go by Soldier First Class on all the platforms and stuff. Big Digimon fan. My girlfriend and I pretty much just play Dead by Daylight all day, every day. If I'm not playing Dead by Daylight, I'm looking up Digimon cards, and I try to make it to my locals every Friday. Other than that, I don't know what else to say. My background in Digimon, or
So let's see here. Let me find these interview questions here. So what's your history with Digimon? Like, with TCGs? Is Digimon your first TCG, or have you played others? Or
so Digimon TCG is the first one that I actually played, if I can say competitively. The only other TCG I played was, back in the day, Pokemon, but I was a kid, so does that really count? Yu-Gi-Oh! Kids on the Street, does that really count? This is the first time I've actually, gone into it and played competitively, had fun at locals and things like that.
I feel like going to locals is your real first TCG.
Yeah.
When you're playing Pokemon and you're just like, I'm slamming down Charizard, I kill you. That's how my little boy plays. So, what about your history with Digimon?
Digimon in general?
Yeah.
Oof. I'm actually working on something with my girlfriend about that. It's a video I'm working on called Why I Love Digimon, and it's kind of like a little retrospective of my history, like you're asking now. But pretty much after Pokemon, Digimon kind of became that thing that that kind of I could relate to. I know everybody talks about the battle between Digimon and Pokemon. I don't see it as like a who wins or who loses. It's just what it did for you growing up and even now. So Pokemon was my my childhood, but as I grew up, I started relating a lot more to Digimon. It had a lot more darker themes, and it seemed a little bit more relatable, realistic. I know that kind of sounds stupid, living in the digital world, but they kind of promoted the idea that bad things can happen, and then it's about what these main characters do. It did a lot for me growing up. I got in my first fight, actually. I don't want to get in too detailed. I don't want to get you in trouble, but I was a kid, so hopefully everybody, prefacing this, I could, I had a friend who was of a different race than me, and there were these other guys that didn't like our friendship. They were jealous. So he told me, hey, he likes this word, and it was a bad word towards this person. And so I said that, and this guy starts fighting me, and the whole time I'm just thinking of the episode where Ty and Matt are fighting. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, I don't want to fight. He's kicking my butt, by the way. I'm not gonna pretend he wasn't. We were like 9 years old, so I'm just like, no, I don't want to fight you. Pushing my head in the sand and everything. I didn't know what the word meant, but the whole time I just kept thinking, we're friends, like in Digimon. It's gonna stop, It did, but it was a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
No, that's totally cool. I mean, that's just
it's bad, but
it ties into what you were saying. Digimon handled a lot of things, like of course TK and Matt being from a separated home, things like that. Like, it had a lot more mature narratives in it than others, like the pressure of Sora and her mother on her to run family business, Mimi's dad being a wealthy, I guess multi-millionaire. It was, everybody had a lot of different aspects, and I think Digimon that's a good way to relate, like it related to your life at a very early age.
Yeah. It's what kept the bullying, like, I always had my Digivice, as long as I had my Digivice, I was okay, and that's how you cope when you're a kid, you relate to this stuff.
Yeah. So who's your favorite Digimon?
Oof. Okay. So obviously, well, not obviously, growing up, you want to be the main character, right? Agumon, Wargreymon. But growing up is realizing that I love my Tento and Patamon, so I probably have to say Tentomon.
All right.
Yeah. Tentomon, I can relate to him. He's just, a good boy.
I like that there was always something relatable about all the characters. Like,
Exactly.
you're like, Izzy's the smart kid, the little tech kid. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm kind of the tech kid.
I like computers.
But Joe's also like super nervous about everything. I'm super nervous about everything. So I can relate to a lot of the characters. Yeah.
It's one of those things, and you grow up and you realize, like, you're a little piece of all of them in a way. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Nobody's just one characteristic,
So, you said this was your first TCG. So, is the Wargreymon kind of your play style? Do you prefer that run and gun, beat them down real quick?
So, no, I'd have to say no. This deck was somebody helped create this for me. About the tournament of Blast Ace is when I met everybody. It was my first tournament. And the tournament after that, actually, sorry, I brought my deck, and they were like, yeah, this very, very minimally altered starter deck. What was it? 15 Wargreymon? They're like, yeah, it's not it. Here, they're tossing cards at me like for free, helping me out. I was like, guys, like, this is freaking awesome. So half of these cards were given to me, and then taught me how to play. They're like, hey, this is like a simpler way for you to learn. So I kind of played this deck and kind of learned other decks in the process by who I went up against. But this was my main deck that I've been playing since Blast Ace, with minor changes like with option cards and stuff. But yeah, do I like it though? The RNG for me is like too, because this deck banks on the security plus 1,000 attack, and I don't always get that. And when I come up short is when I get manhandled.
You get that security plus 4, and then you can't
Finish
squeak
it.
that game out.
Nope. That's exactly the problem.
So you said you were working on another deck?
Yeah. Did I take a picture of that for you? Sorry. I don't think. Did you want me to send you the pictures?
You can. That's fine.
Or I could read them. I don't think I know these.
Because right now, this deck you picked is in my wheelhouse. This is
that's
your favorite?
This is Mikey's world right here.
I have built this deck a multitude of ways.
Oh, so there's other ways. I've seen a lot of people do it different ways, but I never really thought about it, I suppose.
Now, they may not all be optimal, but man, there's so many ways to build this deck using just straight up Wargrey, Black Wargrey. It's basically became a toolbox deck and just how you want to build it, especially with the new starter deck stuff. That card right there, that card's so good.
I think my favorite card out of this is it used to be the what's it called, Metal Greymon X Antibody, but I don't see him as often. But somehow I'll always get Wargreymon X Antibody, even though there's only 2 of them, and it's just, I love that memory that you get per security check. Yeah. Love it so much.
I love that you mentioned this deck though is very prone to, you can run out of gas. Like, you don't always get that optimal stack with Omnimon in your hand. And I think if our other buddy Tiny was here, multiple games, I'll be like, oh, here's 5 checks. And he plays Black Wargrey a lot, so his deck is also fast. And then he'll come up and be like, oh, we're going to de-digivolve.
Oh,
no. Swing. Then we're going to... And then I'm like, I got to rebuild. And by the time I get rebuilt, I have to deal with this massive Black Wargreymon body
Wow.
that kind of does the same thing I do, except it's more defensive.
Oh,
So yeah,
goodness.
I totally understand
Mm.
about running out of gas with this
And
deck.
it sucks because once you do get that perfect stack that you see like once in a blue moon, it's almost anticlimactic because you know you're not going to get it again next game. The odds, like you're like, well. I think I also have a breakthrough of courage in there somewhere. Perhaps I forgot, but yeah, it's helped me.
Let's see.
Good card. I'm actually rebuilding Agumon right now.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, it uses the new the chicken nugget Agumon. It's the one where he's eating the meat.
Oh yeah, I have one of them.
Yeah, that's what it kind of revolves around. It's Imperial.
Here's the other. Yeah, here's the other deck.
This is
that
what
he
I'm
sent
going with
me.
right now. I'm waiting on a Stingmon and an XVmon, I think.
I dabbled with Imperial after BT12 came out.
How'd you like it?
So I didn't build it the way that everybody else does, and that's just how I am. I can't conform. I gotta be different, and Mikey hates the way that I built it.
Make it your own, man.
Yeah,
your
yep, that's
deck.
what I do.
No,
and
he
then
built
Mikey
it.
hates it.
He built it stupidly control-y.
Control
It works.
So,
The
yeah.
deck works really good. He builds it more off not using the Imperialdramon that swings that allows you to restand and swing. It has a lot more control aspect of it where he can bounce and suspend your Digimon by playing into
Let me
the
pull up the second part of that too.
the newer dragon mode. Well, I mean,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
see that
So
old Imperialdramon right there that you have 4 of?
Mm-hmm.
Drew doesn't run that.
No. Take him
Drew,
out.
Drew doesn't run for the aggressive approach. He runs for more of. He also runs more Kins over Davis.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, really?
It's a very different play style.
I really like piercing, and so I was
Hey, who
using the
doesn't, right?
BT12, the BT12 Dino B.
Oh.
So I was using that to suspend the opponent, and then I would digivolve it. It would take my turn back.
Mm-hmm.
I'd digivolve it into the dragon mode, and then kill them, pierce with all that, and then go into the fighter mode to block up after that.
God damn. Remove the rest of the board, right? Some of those Imperialdramon do that. And then, well, would you recommend I take out those 4 then for the wait, no, I think those aren't the new ones coming out, right?
No.
No.
Like I said, I'm new still. Sorry. Well, at least
No,
a different deck.
Listen, that's still one of the. If I say grab a deck, I say this is one of the decks you just grab and smash 2 together, and it works out fairly well.
It's still definitely one of those ones you can pick up 2 starter decks, and this is how I'm going to start playing the game. I like Imperial. I'm going to play this deck.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to giving it a go as soon as I mean, you guys know what next week? Not the end of this week, but the end of that week is pre-release. So.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That'll be the weekend that we're at Concord.
Oh, you're not gonna. Oh, you guys are gonna have a pre-release.
We're gonna be at regionals.
Yeah, we're gonna be at the Concord Regional.
Oh,
yeah.
See, I didn't even know what they call it. I've been seeing on the Digimon Twitter, but yeah, that's freaking awesome.
They're hard to keep
California.
up with.
I don't think there's. Excuse me.
There will be. Tell him, don't worry. They like Cali.
Oh yeah, they love that side. They love the West Coast.
Sorry, blow my nose.
You're good.
Oh, you're fine.
So let me pull. I'm gonna pull up the version that I built, and we can look at that real quick.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
Wait, is this Imperial?
Yes.
See, okay, but before we start talking about the Wargreymon, which I guess technically we already did, what would you guys like? Not rate, but like on this scale, because I know what success I've been having with it. It's like maybe 20% success rate since September.
I'll pull it back up so Mikey can look at it because he's gonna be the one that knows.
Okay.
There we go.
So the biggest thing here that I see, everything looks fine. You've got your best searcher, Agumon there with the red black Agu. Got your chicken tendy Agumon, which basically does what the promo Agumon does. And he's still cheaper. The discrepancy here is, so if you look at your Metal Greymons, most people prefer to run the Metal Greymon, the red black, at least a 3 of, because it allows you to raid. So the cool thing about this combo is it's a very mid-range deck. So if you get your stack where you have, let's say, Chicken Tendy Agumon go into Agumon X Antibody, and then either one of the Greymons there, but preferably your Sec +1 Greymon.
Yeah.
You go into your Metal Greymon, the black and red. You're able to swing, and if you have X Antibody, so you slot it underneath, swing with Metal Greymon with raid. You're going to activate X Antibody to go into Metal Greymon X Antibody. So now you're swinging for plus 2 checks. You're at 13,000 DP and raiding into something. So that's what I'm saying. It's a level 5 that's done giving you mega level DP.
I think that's my problem too. Now that you mention it, I know. Like I said, I've been playing since September, and somehow I'm still afraid to attack unless I get those megas out there. But what you're saying is no. You can, obviously, because Metal Gray X gives you that +3. There's no reason to be afraid.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah, and especially if you actually have Greymon X Antibody, the black red. He's going to give you protection if you have X Antibody underneath. Let's say you swing, you're going to have piercing, by the way, so if you swing through, raid, pierce through something, and oh no, I'm going to get deleted. Well, you got Greymon X Antibody from the old, what set is that? BT 10, 9.
What was that? Like coming at you in the card?
No, the black red one. I forget what set number that is. I should remember it, but it's limited to 1. And the reason being is if you have an X Antibody underneath it, you can just remove the X Antibody to save yourself from deletion.
What?
Yep, that's what is. That's what is.
I have like 4 of those, but somebody told me to take it out.
Well, you're only. It's limited to 1, is why. It's because it's broken.
Okay. Oh, Dimensional Phase, right?
Which one?
Dimensional Phase, BT11.
Yes, yeah. So he got limited to 1, just because of that reason. Most people choose to either run a more red base all the way through, or a black base all the way through. The big hitter here is, let's see. We'll just break down your ratios because, like you said, this will be a good learning opportunity. You
No,
are newer. So, okay, let's count as rookies. We've got...
we got the level curve right here.
Yep. So we got 10 level 3s. 12 is usually what most people are looking for. That's the sweet spot. It's 12 rookies. On your level 4s, your champion levels, 10. And that's kind of with a more of a tribal-based deck, you're looking for, if you run 12 rookies, 10 champions, and then you just keep kind of decreasing it by 2.
Right.
If that makes sense. So you just kind of, because you're looking for those ratios. And
odds of pulling them.
Yeah, well, because that's what you're wanting. Because with this deck, if your stat gets deleted, you got to have a rookie and raising to push up.
Yep.
And one of the best combos is the Agumon from BT, the newest one, the Chicken Tendy Agumon. Because if your stat gets deleted, he can warp into the new Wargreymon, or a Greymon in name. So that helps you go ahead and resolve the issue with this deck being hurt from blowing up your big body. But usually you run 12 rookies, 10 champions, 6 to 8 ultimates, and then you run 5 to 6 megas. And then level 7s, usually 2, depending on what deck, and then your option cards and stuff fill in.
Right. Well, his level 7s is 2 Omnis and a Death X, which is fine because Death X is one of those. He's almost like an option,
Oh yeah.
at a certain point.
Right?
He's the Digimon option.
Saving them.
But I mean, Blitz Omni's just
you kind of have to have to look at what you're wanting to go for with the deck. So, for instance, you have the Sec +1 ties, the old ties, super awesome card. However, you might want to look into maybe the newer ties because you got blocker tie, then the newest tie from the starter deck. I think is that the starter deck one, or is that BT? That's BT.
No, starter deck one's a memory setter.
Yes, that's what. So see, me, I pretty much got this deck built. I run one of the old starter deck one tie.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm banking on. I just need one of him because he's a memory setter. So it feels it's nice when you're getting 3 out there, but it feels bad if because the memory setter doesn't do as much. It just gives you that Sec +1, and this deck then has a ton of ways to give you Sec +1 from your Greymon, from your Metal Gray X, from your Wargreymon.
So do you really need it? Basically, is what you're saying.
So do you want to see 2? 2 would be okay, but you really don't need to see it because you don't have a bunch of ways to get Sec +1 and to swing again. Because if you look at the BT 11 or 12, 13, I can't remember, the Raid Wargreymon that's up here above the X antibody, he allows you to raid, get plus 3,000 DP, and unsuspend. So technically, if you have the memory, you can swing twice with him or set him up to be a blocker with that other tie you have there, the black tie.
Wait, how does he unsuspend?
So if you let me see, let me pull up his ability here. Let me pull it up. Well, hang on. Do I have my deck clean around here? Hang on.
He's talking about a Digimon, right? Not a tamer?
Yeah. Let me pull out my...
Uh-oh, busting it out. Okay.
Yeah, I got to bust it out here. All right. So, if we're looking at him, so BT12. So, he's got Raid.
BT12...
Wargreymon.
Okay.
Yep. So, he is Raid. When Digivolving, until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon gets plus 3,000 DP and gains Reboot. All turns once per turn. When an attack target is switched, you can unsuspend this Digimon. And that's what Raid does. So Raid allows you to declare an attack against your opponent as you're swinging. Raid kicks in, and you switch to the highest DP unsuspended Digimon.
And if I have piercing...
Yes.
Then... Oh,
you're going to security,
and you're going to get that with the Metal Greymon from that set. So see, that is a good, Metal Greymon from BT12. So you're going to go ahead and.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was going to say I got to admit maybe I'm a little bit too fond of the BT14 Wargrey, and that. Security +1. So, but it looks like the across time would be a lot more beneficial, especially if I'm raiding and piercing, like you said.
Now, don't get me wrong. I still run 2 of those. So I do run 2 of those, but I also run 4 of the Chicken Tendy Agumon.
And it allows you to I'm sorry, it allows you to what does it say? I'm blanking here. The BT14, it allows you to... It's kind of like a built-in blitz, right?
Oh, yes.
Because you can Digivolving and then you may attack.
Yes. It's just like the old option card. There was... it was... X antibody. It's basically like... It allows if you have a Greymon in name to attack. Yes. So it's pseudo blitz. I guess they did it... I don't know, maybe sometime in the future. Keywords might be able to be blocked. Who knows? But yeah.
Imagine? Oh, God.
Well, I mean, I see it coming. I mean, that's the next step.
Really?
Yeah.
That's going to be the Bagger Army.
Yeah. Well, I see at the way they can gain memory and things. It wouldn't shock me if they had something that blocked keywords.
So, like,
from
block your armor purge. You can't do that. Oh,
yeah.
Nullified.
I mean,
let me get some Digimon Emperor Black Rings.
I mean, we done had a
Jeez.
card announced that allows you to not redirect attacks, so you can't block it. You can't redirect it with Wargrey. You can't redirect it with Magnamon X. So I'm just saying, we might get there.
It's possible. Okay.
Yeah, but this
Damn.
deck is fine. I would just look at changing up my ratios a little bit on my level 5s
Mm-hmm.
and my level 6s.
Okay.
I would lean more one towards the other, and the way you've got it set up, I think it's cool to have the new BT14 Wargreymon. I think it's a good card. However, I think old Wargrey for this style of deck is better.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like everything
The
else.
thing is, I never really get to. My thing was, and maybe this is something I shouldn't be worried about, right? But without the if I don't have a memory setter, obviously it costs 3 to 4 to digivolve. So I have to pass turn before I even get a chance to attack, and he's kind of wide open at that point, right?
Well, with new Wargreymon, you get reboot. So even if you swing and when you pass turn, he'll go ahead and restand. And you got to remember, you got a lot of so the tie from BT12, he gives blocker, and then when your turn effect is when one of your Digimon digivolves into a card with Greymon or Omnimon in its name, you can suspend him to gain memory. Sometimes you have 2 of those out there, you can gain memory. And then the new starter deck one is a memory setter, and when the attack is switched, this is why I run this, because I run the more Raid Wargreymon based. I get to draw a card, and one of my Digimon gains plus 2,000 DP until the end of the turn. So he gets even bigger. So that can put against Omnimon X's or Black Wargreys, things of that nature.
Right. Sorry, I'm jotting that down while you're talking.
That's what I'm saying. There's tons of ways to build this deck. Starter deck with a new starter deck based, with Black Wargreymon. My first regional Atlanta, I went to in person. I ran I guess this Wargreymon toolbox before it was big. I ran the BT13 Wargreymon and Black Wargreymon with Black Wargreymon X, because X Anybody allows you to go into any
X
anybody. So I mean, I could literally be at Metal Greymon, swing when attacking, and go straight into Black Wargreymon X Anybody. See, there's a lot of weird cheeky combos you can do with X Anybody, because everybody thinks, well, no, I have to have a level 6 to go into the X Anybody level 6. No. It's not how it works.
I learned that.
Yeah.
I learned that quick. I was like, I don't have to do it.
You can. So if you don't use it when you go into Metal Greymon X Anybody, when you swing with him, you can literally go into Black Wargreymon X Anybody on that turn with piercing, with plus 2 checks, with, now he's at 15 KDP, and he's going to delete something, and then he's going to reboot.
Damn. Okay. That's definitely something to consider, because now that you're telling me all this, I really want to take out, well, I don't know, what do you think? 2 of these red ties and put 2 of the starter deck ones, because of all the attack chart switching, and I get to draw.
Yeah, you get to draw.
And that's pivotal in this deck, right? Oh, I'm definitely.
And I haven't played with the new X Anybody option in it. So I like it because
purely just to reduce.
Yeah, which, like you said, that does help in this deck. But if you tweak a couple things, this deck has the ability to gain enough memory to where it stays your turn a lot. Or if you don't, you can reboot. And now you're blocker. And you've got the new agility trainings, which helps in your next Digivolution. You have red memory boost, which I don't think is a bad call at all. Hades Force is your bread and butter.
Oh, dude, it saved me. But
I think you at least got to run 2 at the minimum. Yeah, Hades Force is just too good to slap down, because so many times in the game you got several black tamers, you have several red sources. So I mean, you can slap it down almost at any point in the game. You're going to have a red source for sure, and then if you're at Wargreymon, if you got a tie out, you're going to have. It's just too good to. And if you have X anybody underneath, that's reduced.
Okay. Let me see. Sorry, I'm putting all this into my my deck as we're talking. So okay, so you'd recommend take out 2 of the red,
Mm-hmm.
and then put, like I said, and then the starter deck, right?
Mm-hmm. I would put 2
and
of the
then
new starter deck.
That guy. So for a total of 6 tamers.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, still keep it at 6. You can still keep it at 6.
Okay. And then
if you want to get really cheeky, you can use Yuya.
I had that for a while. Yeah.
It's just when you run him at 1 of, it doesn't come up sometimes as much as you want it to. Plus, you don't have as many ways to play him. Because, with certain things, you can play a tie with your BT13 Greymon there if you don't have one already out in play. And then the other one, it just says a 4-cost tamer, which is really good.
So then we take out a proto form for a Hades Force.
Yes.
Because that could be beneficial. Oh, where Hades Force still? Oh, there it is. All right. And then, like you said, mess with the ratios a little bit. Maybe get
just try maybe run 2 of the BT13 Wargrey and 1 of the BT14, because he's great, but he feels better when you can warp into him out of nowhere off the new BT14 Agumon.
Done. 2, 1.
Also, another Greymon you can look into. Now that we'll whip out the deck here again. Another good Greymon you can look into is BT5. So BT5 Greymon is when Digivolving, if this Digimon has Agumon in its name, you gain a memory. He already only Digivolves for 2. So you're Digivolving into him for 1.
Oh, okay.
And then, while this Digimon this is inheritable, if he has Omnimon or Greymon, he gets plus 2,000 DP. So it makes him a beefy boy. It can kind of memory choke your opponent. You're like, oh no, I'm in this awkward situation. I'll give them 1 memory. And especially if they don't have a memory setter, that can really hurt.
And that's BT5?
Yes, BT5.
Okay. Well, see, I guess that goes against my scared playstyle, which I should probably change. Because all this when Digivolving is under the assumption that obviously he's in the battle area, which doesn't happen often because I kind of charge the cannon in the back, and I never bring him out.
Well, this definitely is a build in the back. It is a stack-based tower deck. However, though, you do have one of the best searchers in the game with that Agumon right there. And like I said, if you hard play him, let's say you're at 3 memory, they don't have a memory setter out, you've done Digivolved in the back, you go ahead, you hard play him like you're searching for something. You're like, I don't have anything. You go ahead and slap down this Agumon, search, maybe find a piece, and then if you have that Greymon in hand, you can Digivolve on top of him, giving them 1 memory.
That's true.
Finding a piece, and now your next setup, you have 2 bodies if you wanted to. You can make a cheeky swing, maybe do a Metal Greymon X play for early aggression, maybe bring out both, like depending on what deck you're running against.
Yeah.
I played this deck a lot. Dude. I really love this deck.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to keep it out and give these a try now, honestly. Because look at this.
I know this was a podcast about you, but we got talking about Greymon.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I
needed help.
No,
I needed help.
Listen, that's the whole point of this is, like I said, we got somebody that's been playing since last days, and it's helpful for the other players to hear this kind of stuff too. Yeah. Like new players coming in don't know everything about a certain deck, and this is a good. I feel like this is great. You can
build this so many ways and build it. Yeah. You can almost build this. It's as bad as Imperialdramon in a good way. What I meant is you can build it to your playstyle. Very much so. By Black Wargreymon, Wargreymon X, Agubond. You can build Tribal, Shine Greymon. There's enough Greymons out there that you can find a Greymon that fits your playstyle for sure.
Oh yeah. Bandai loves printing Greymon cards.
It's the Charizard.
Charizard.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Both of you.
So yeah, and well, you've got the Imperial coming. So let me pull up.
Mhm.
This is the Imperial that I built.
Oh yes, let's see it.
And it's a good deck. It's just it's annoying for my playstyle. Andrew's the reason
Mikey
I started
doesn't-
playing yellow. It's his fault, guys.
Could
I
you
beat him
zoom in
cancer.
just a little bit for me? Because I'm.
Let's see if we can zoom it.
If not, that's okay. I can probably.
Yeah, you can keep going.
I can send you the link to this.
Okay,
So you can.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
I'll send it to you real quick.
Trying to look while you're.
And if you're not in our Discord, you should be.
No, I am. Yeah, I am.
So, just ask for any deck. Tomo's the deck building. He posts decks all the
Oh,
time.
dude, he every day.
Really?
I'm over
Daddy
here rebuilding
Tomo.
Tyrannomon 17 times, and he's built 47 different flavors of a deck.
Jeez. Dino B is the one for me. Love it.
Yep.
Love
Yeah.
it.
So I didn't even play the Imperialdramon that everybody runs, but the focus of this was being able to go into the XV and the Stingmon from BT12,
Mhm.
and then when they DNA. So at the end of turn, you got this inheritable to DNA. So then I would DNA, and I'd gain 2 memory from these two, because when they DNA Digivolve, you gain 1 memory for each.
Mm-hmm. Oh snap!
So I would pass turn, giving my opponent 2 memory,
On purpose.
but then I would take it back on the Digivolution,
Oh,
going into
that's right.
into the Dino B, and then when he DNA Digivolves, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and he gains 3 KDP, and then he can attack your opponent.
Oh damn! Then this Digimon may attack
And then you've got the Davis and Ken. When one of your Digimon Digivolves into Digimon with 2 or more colors. No, not that one. Which one is it?
That one unsuspends. That's the 2-color blue or green. Yes,
had
you
it,
can
didn't you?
Digivolve. No, that's the Digivolve. The new Davis is when you Digivolve. That one is the one you can gain 1 memory.
Mm-hmm. Which is still good, right? I mean,
You were talking about your play to go into
There's-
Imperialdramon, was you not?
Yeah. So there's one that whenever
That's the new
he attacks,
Davis.
you can. The new Davis.
I think that one. Yes,
Yeah, the BT12.
gain 1 memory.
So
Yeah.
So whenever Dino B's attacking, he can Digivolve into Imperial. So you're taking that 3 KDP that you just gained, stacking it onto Imperial Dragon mode.
oh snap! Uh-huh.
Plus you've got his, when one of your Digimon with Imperial deletes an opponent's Digimon, trashes security.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking that security, you've got jamming and piercing from the Stingmon and XVmon. So there's 2 security going, and you're jamming, so nothing's going to get rid of you. And then at the end of attack, you can Digivolve into the fighter mode, unsuspend, and you're standing there with a big old beefy blocker.
Unsuspended.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn. Jesus.
When they finally do get to take their turn.
And I can't do that in the deck that I have because it's not Dino B, right? Only Dino B can do that. I'm looking
Right.
at it.
So Dino B focuses on that, suspending your opponents, and then he can attack.
Mm-hmm.
So you're passing turn you're giving them 2 memory,
Right.
passing turn, but then you take it back to 0, so it's still your turn,
Swing with Dino
and then
B.
you go into that combo.
Tap
Yep.
Davis. He can let you Digivolve into Imperialdramon, Dragon mode. Then Dragon mode, you're swinging, right? So you're doing all your damage because all your effects have to finalize or resolve
Right.
before your turn actually ends.
Mhm.
So you attack when one of your Digimon comes suspended. You tap Davis to suspend him. He's done attacking, goes into Dragon mode. Then when Dragon mode gets done doing all of his crap, he gets to go into fighter mode. And now it's like, oh, well, you just killed a body, trashed security, took a security probably. And so you took 2 checks, and now I have to deal with a, 14K blocker.
All in one
Yep.
turn too.
Yeah, and then if you've got Ken, you're gaining a memory whenever you delete one of your opponents' Digimon in battle.
Jeez.
Yeah, so
That
now
is
you just pass
gnarly.
them
What
with
the
2
hell?
memory still. You did all that with like 2 memory.
Wait, that's not once per turn?
What?
When one of your green or blue Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, you may suspend the team. Okay, yeah, suspend.
Yeah. So it suspends him, and you gain a memory. So then you're back at 1, and you just hang out and slap
That
him
is
around some
kick
more.
ass. What the heck?
But that's the off the wall type thing. Like,
I don't think I'm ready for that.
Nobody plays Lydramon, but I wanted the option to have. Oh, I can digivolve this, and I've got a green or a blue if I'm missing something.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like that. Yeah, I see him right here. And he has armor purge.
Yeah.
Good old armors. They're about to be the bane of everybody's existence.
I hear Lilithmon is canceling that though. I saw something on the Digi rulings on Facebook. Somebody asked about that.
That's a couple set. That's the new one, isn't it? So we got a couple sets before.
Yeah,
we have to deal with it before it gets to that point.
That's in EX6.
The new one, the new Lilith.
The new Lilith. Yeah,
September.
Yeah, so we'll probably get a ban before that happens.
No, we won't.
On Magnadramon or something.
Listen, don't talk about my woman.
No, not because of her. I'm saying before she even gets to come save the day, we'll probably have a ban.
Nah,
I don't know. Japan's been doing pretty good, so we may not.
Heard talk of the ban list in a while.
Because Japan's having a really fun time right now. Apparently, their format's really, really diverse. So I mean, at this point,
I haven't really seen what they've got going on. I haven't been keeping up on the Digimon meta. That's what's up.
my other boy.
Oh, whoa, that is kick-ass.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it, dude.
Crest of Courage and Friendship tattoo. My two boys.
Love it, man. Wow.
Me and Andrew give off those energies. I give off Pro Tag energy, and he gives off my rival.
Honestly, dude, that's what I love about Digimon TCG so far. It's not just the fact that I'm getting off the video games and going out and actually meeting other dudes and stuff, but like they love exactly what you love. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yep, you're all there for the same reason, and
yeah, that's what's really awesome about TCGs, and you can find your tribe, and because there's so many TCGs, you'll find a group that there's pretty much if you watch any anime, there's a card game out there for you.
Shoot, and I heard that that Dragon Ball and One Piece are doing good. And I'm like, give Digimon love. Shoot,
not in our area. Well, Dragon Ball's not doing good. God, I wish. Lord, how I wish.
You play that too?
Oh, listen, that was my first card game. This is a signed. Came from the old original Dragon Ball Super set. Yeah, I've got 2 of these. This bad boy's, I think, around $800 or $900 now.
Vegeta.
It's signed by the voice actor Sean Schimmel. Top voice actor Goku. Hang on, I can get something to drink.
Dude. It really is. That's a good idea.
Oh, so I don't know if you've seen or know about Digimon Meta, but I'll send you a link to it. But this is
the site,
the BT. Yeah,
I honestly get overwhelmed when I look at it because I see
there's so many ads. I feel like that's the one thing that kills it for me is there's so many ads. They do great work, but there's so many ads.
That, and I look and I'm like, I see one deck and another deck, and they're both more or less what I want, and I'm like, how do I know? I'm not smart enough to choose which one has the better cards. Like, I don't.
Look, it's always personal preference. You kind of run through it and see what's going on with it, and
it takes time.
Kind of go from there. Yeah.
You said Digimon Meta?
Yeah, I sent you a link. This is the BT17 format because I haven't been looking at much of anything.
On Discord,
I don't look too far ahead. Yeah.
The last thing I have from you is Digimon IO.
I sent it to the wrong place. Let me find it here.
Nice.
Liar!
There we go.
Oh, there's 4 people in here right now.
Listen, Eosmon is topping. Like, Eosmon. Let's go.
Listen, you know who we need?
I see.
Listen, we need more D-Reaper support, please. I don't know what we'll make, but I would love to use that deck again.
I played against that once.
They
It's
also
horrible.
have the English format decks, and I'll send you a link to that too.
Oh, on Digimon meta?
Yes.
Yeah,
What's the
that's a
difference,
good place.
really? I mean, aren't they cards that people are going to be using anyway?
So the big difference between the Japanese meta and the English meta is in Japan they play best of 1. They don't do best of 3 games.
Oh wow!
So they're kind of more, let's go take this game as quick as possible. There's no way to come back from it. So if you lose your first game, you lost.
Oh, wow.
You go play a different player. And they're all about going in and playing your games and getting out. They don't have the whole 3 rounds and hang out, wait for all the time. They're 20-minute games and you're in and out.
GG's. Oh, okay, I see it right here. BG Imperial is what they're calling it, yeah? 1 recipe.
Yeah, so that's the blue-green.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a red-purple Imperial too, which I'm sure it's coming. Wait for Liberator to drop some more stuff.
I love it. Still one of my favorite decks. Still nasty when it pops off. One of my first tournament that I won with Digimon with that deck. It's good. It was locals, guys, not a regional or anything.
Dude, I've still yet to win more than 2 matches in locals. Okay, so that's awesome to me.
Our community's not super sweaty, but I just want to clarify that I didn't go win our regionals or anything with red, purple, and Digimon.
Hey, man, it's good in my book. Wait, Paladin mode, Ace? Is that's not the one coming up?
Yeah, it's coming up.
Oh, that's BT7? Oh, okay. That's next.
Yes.
What the heck?
We got a minute.
Dang, we're not even on 16 yet. What the hell, dude?
Yeah, so by the beginning of next year, we're going to be in the same format as Japan.
Oh, that's going to be...
So when they drop these new teasers for cards, it's going to be for everybody and no longer just, hey, America, you're going to get this card in 8 to 9 months.
See, I think the hype will be so much better. Think about it. We'll all be on the same page.
I will actually care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll care about the news.
Because you're not getting leftovers.
Right. I don't... Since I've been playing, I will occasionally look at new cards that are coming out, but I don't care. I'm not going to be able to play with this card until it drops for us.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for me to pay attention to it.
You're not excited about Avenge Kidmon? Come on. He looks
like
cool.
It's teasing.
Oh, it is. Well, because at this point, sometimes they're 4 sets away from us almost, because they're getting their reveals for their upcoming set, and we're already 2.5, 3 sets behind. So I get that. I get that for sure.
I'm glad they announced that they were... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I'm glad they announced that they were going to put them closer.
Yeah, the merge I think is going to be really good. I just don't... I don't want to get burnt out on something that's not coming to us right now. Like, people go in and they're like testing for when those cards come out, and I'm like, you're going to burn yourself on that before it even gets here. And when it does come, you're going to be like, this is boring. I'm bored. I don't want to do this.
No, I agree. I mean, I know I haven't been having how do I say this? I haven't been tortured as much as you guys have, obviously, because I just started. But hey, still, I feel it.
Well, okay. Speaking of that, so we have 2 new starter decks coming out. So we got BT16, and don't we get the starter decks right after that? What's the release date on those?
I think they're in August.
Is it that far away?
Wait, so it goes BT16 starter deck, then EX?
No, it'll go EX, I think, then starter deck. We have that. We should really pin these. We always find this stuff, and then we don't pin any of it, and we always forget it.
They're not coming. They're not coming until September.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Dang.
If somebody wants to watch this, do they have to join as a guest?
I think they can only chat. Can they watch us?
They should be able to.
The link that you sent me ending in KJ?
Audience.
There's someone else in here because it's 4 people.
One in audience.
Yeah,
My girlfriend's asking. She said, "Do I join as guest?" So I'm like, I don't think so.
I sent you another link.
Okay, sorry.
I don't know.
Sorry, I interrupted everything you said.
No, you're fine.
We haven't used Riverside enough yet to.
We're not
to
like the
understand completely.
Digipod. We're not as good as Varney and them yet.
So join as guest then, tell her.
Yeah, she can join as guest.
If she
Okay,
pops
sorry,
up as a
you were
4th
saying-
camera, she'll be fine.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
Well, you said she plays, right?
She's slowly getting into it. I'm still teaching her.
Hey, you're doing way better than me and Mikey.
I tried to get my family to play
Caving.
Lorcana because I was like, this is it. Our whole household loves Disney.
Gonna play it.
You know, some people
Awesome,
may
dude.
chastise me for that. But yeah, Lorcana's really fun too. It's just now getting to the point to where you can buy a product and it's not
Oh.
outrageous. And
Oh wait, it says this asking about a mic.
Oh well, maybe join as audience. I think there's
Yes.
an audience option.
I'm sorry, I keep derailing the conversations. Disrespectful.
No, you're
I'm sorry.
fine.
listen, brother, we don't have structure here. All right.
No,
It's one
We don't
thing
know
we
what
are
structure
not
is.
known for is, and trust me, our audience tries. They try.
Oh, okay, they said no option to do that. That's okay.
that's weird.
You know what?
How is this one person in audience? What'd they do?
Who is that? How to join Riverside as audience.
Somebody's just randomly in here.
Well, it says and one in audience. So
On your computer, click the join session button in an invite email or click a studio access link. On the lobby page, enter your name. Click to indicate whether you're using headphones. Look at the video preview on the right side of the page. Use the menu to select mic. Well, it sounds like you're...
It sounds like you're joining.
Yeah. Well, but it says join as a... Well, no, I joined as a guest too. Huh. You know what? We should have just streamed it to YouTube. But I think that eats up a lot of Andrew's data too.
yeah,
No, that's okay. I was just asking.
We'll figure this
I
out.
will.
Don't you worry,
I'll
guys.
show her the
One day.
video after. Do you give people the video?
Yeah,
Huh.
we post the videos the same day that the episode goes up. So
Listen, I love our community, but they always ask, "Can I post this here?" I'm like, "Yeah." We're all about, like, we're not trying to hoard any fame because we're not famous at all. So
no,
promote your
send it.
podcast, your YouTube, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Post your tournaments.
Yeah.
I was
like
feeling
everything.
a little bit. I was feeling a little bit nervous. I was like, "Oh, should I have said? Oh, I do this. I make videos. I'm
yeah,
not.
you
Oh,
I'm
can-
no,
not
dude, plug it.
big.
Plug it.
Fire it away.
When I was telling you. Oh no, it was earlier. Remember when I said, "Oh, I'm working on this video." I was like, "Oh,
Oh yeah, I'm hyped to see it.
That's one of our things to do. Is then we just, like, I've been watching Avid Herpetologist. I've been watching all of his stuff now, and I like
Yeah, he was
supporting
on last week.
supporting
I
people.
like the TikToks that you got there, Drew. The ones there was something that you guys talked about recently. I commented on it, and I was like, "Yes, they need to do this." I forgot what it was.
Who knows? Andrew's been roasting me in his last couple.
Listen, we're gonna when we go to this regional. So next Friday's the regional.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be live on TikTok the entire drive
Oh,
as much as possible.
that phone gun.
I'm gonna catch Mikey sleeping.
I was about to say you'll hear me snoring. I can't.
And then
I
we're gonna
can't stay
be-
alive in long car rides. I just pass out.
And then when we get to the Airbnb that we're staying at, Wholehearted and some of his buddies are coming too, and we're all staying in the same Airbnb.
Mm.
So we're gonna spend half the night testing before the
Oh,
regional.
hell yeah. Where is
So
this
that'll
again?
be live. It's in Concord, North Carolina.
Mhm.
Oh, damn.
Right next to
Okay.
Charlotte.
Right.
But we were all lucky we got in because see, Tiny was on the wait list.
Mm-hmm. It closed
to dig into?
fast.
It was like I got in, and like 5 minutes later, it was full. So it's clear that they need to do more.
And there's only like 300 people capacity. So
Jeez.
that's because I think that's the issue. We talked about it some. Have you know, this is your new. How do you feel about the best of 3 format? Like, you play, one round, 3, cert, whatever. How do you like it? Like, how do you feel about playing 3 games?
Well, this is going to be obviously entirely subjective, and coming from somebody who's barely started, like I said, September, but I liked it, and I still kind of like it because, I still feel like I don't have that much experience. So the more I go against a deck that I thought, ooh, I just dominated him, or oh, I got lucky, he might come back in the next match.
No, he'll turn around and slap you.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. Maybe, like I said, it's a little bit more subjective. The fact that I'm getting to know this person for a little bit longer, get to talk, get to play, several times as opposed to 1-1-1. But then again, if it was 1-1-1, tournament would be over faster, and there'd be more room for free to play, meeting other people like that, and not in the tournament setting. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I would like to check that out too. You know what I mean? If that ever came to my local for.
So One Piece is best of 1. Dragon Ball's best of 1.
Wow.
Actually, I think all of Bandai's other games are best of 1. So their tournaments have usually, I think, a higher capacity.
500-ish.
But when you start doing, so when you start doing best of 3s, you get really limited on time, because if you've got 300 people, so 150 matches, and they're all 45, 50-minute matches, plus overtime, plus reset and everything, like when you got to move and find your next player or whatever, you take all of that time, and you're spending the entire day with 300 people. But if you go into a best of 1, everybody's playing like every 30 minutes, and bang, 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 playing a bunch more people, but you're getting about the same amount of games in, but you're changing every single
I guess
match.
I never thought of that, though.
But see, all the big 3 games, Yu-Gi-Oh!, MTG, and Pokemon does best of 3. Magic does best of 3. So it's like, Yu-Gi-Oh! I've never really played. I'm assuming they do best of 3.
Yeah, they do best of 3.
So I mean,
how fast those matches go.
Well, I'll be honest. Sometimes in Pokemon, depending on how bad you do, your match, you might get 35 minutes, but you're not using it all. I mean, I had plenty of time to go play side events and everything. But when I went to Atlanta, the reason I asked was when I went to Atlanta, they had a Dragon Ball Z before it switched over to the new. They were best of 1. There was like 500 of them. They were announcing the winners when we was at round like 5 or 6. And we ended up playing 8 rounds in Digimon. So they were done. Yeah. They were done on to the con, getting One Piece promos and all this stuff. And we're still sitting here. We got 2 more rounds to play, and I'm like,
you want to enjoy it too?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, should I drop? And they're like, no, you're 3-3, and I'm like, I don't think there's a chance. They're like, but you could get top, 124, and I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, I wanted to leave and go to the con.
See, that's something I'd never thought about though, because I've only been in locals, and come to think of it, it does take us like 4 hours, just for you know what I mean. It's like, what the hell?
Yep.
Wow. I'll have to make it to one of those one day. Next time it's over.
Yeah, so our locals, when we were still able to go, my work schedule changed, so I've not been able to go. But they started at 4 o'clock, and we would only have time for about 3 rounds, because then it was time to close the shop, because it was Sundays, and they closed at like 7. But they would hang out until we got done playing. They didn't care. Like they would hang around long enough for us to finish the games, but when they're closing and you got to go, you're not getting any time afterwards to, hey, you want to try testing out this deck or whatever. You're going in for locals, you're banging it out, and then you're done. You got to go.
Well, that was when we was small. Now that we've had like sometimes 10 and 12 come every time, like pre-release, just imagine if we started trying to do pre-release at 4. We wouldn't get to play, or the box tournaments. We wouldn't have any time.
We were doing pre-releases, but he would start it an hour early because we had to build our decks.
Yeah, that's true.
So he would be like, okay, well, we're doing a pre-release, so we're going to start at 3 instead of 4.
Oh, snap.
And that would kind of mitigate the time and stuff. But then if you have draws and all this stuff and you don't have a clear, here's the winner of locals, then you got splitting prizes and all that stuff.
That's insane. I'm sorry you guys don't get to go that often, man. I guess I got lucky with my schedule. They're on Fridays.
Yeah, so we're both, the locals that we go to, we're both about an hour away from there.
Oh, no.
Because we live out in Sticks of Tennessee.
Oh,
and
I'm sorry.
I'm in between, so we have CM Games in Knoxville that's like roughly, depending on how traffic is, about 45 to 50 minutes away. Then if I'm at home, Corbin's about 50 to 55 minutes away. So I have 2 places I could technically play. It's just finding time when you're a dad or in a relationship and things like that. And I'm pretty sure you'll understand this. You got your free time, got plenty of free time. Then you got your couple time or whatever. And the more you're gone to these events, the more it squishes your time to spend with your significant other. And
I didn't mean to roll my eyes at that, by the way. I was like, oh, I know.
Yeah, no. Trust me, brother. I get it. So it's like, because we have Pokemon right down from my house. I could walk there in 15 minutes. But, I can't play Pokemon on Saturdays and then go play Digimon on Sundays because that's 2 days Daddy's getting to go out and do things. And, so that's the reason it's rough. And I think that's loops it back around to Digimon's fan base isn't super young. Like I said, being in a lot of these regionals, I've met very few teenagers and preteens playing the game. Whereas with Pokemon, I played if they didn't have age groups, there was like 50, 60 kids there, and then at Mana House locals, we've got some of the young kids, like they'll try to step up and play with the seniors. And Digimon doesn't have that. We don't have as many young audience in our group. And I think that's Digimon went with its demographic and it aged with us. We aged with Digimon. So we all have the same. I couldn't
help but thinking, all right, whose kid asses am I going to kick today?
Oh, shoot. Because we don't even have age groups because I know Bandai sees the numbers. So clearly that's not an issue we have because there's not enough young audience as with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! To have a younger age range for us. There's no need.
But the merchandise is being bought. I mean, you can't say it's not, right? Like,
oh, well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like with Pokemon, there's a lot more kids. With us, we're all 20-ish plus, or like me being an old man, still playing.
I respect it though, man. Like I do. You're finding time. You know what I mean? Like you're doing what you love. I mean, I know, family's more important, of course, and all that stuff. But like, and I know you're probably tired as hell, but you're still doing it.
Listen, my kids, like my daughter played, like I've got her Pokemon decks and stuff. So I mean, look, like TCGs is just part of it for me. It's just part of it for me. Yeah. So I mean, they've got their own decks, they've got their own deck boxes. But yeah, I think that's the thing is with Digimon, it's a time crunch period, and I used to not like best of ones, but a lot of the Pokemon events, we do play best of ones. And it lets the rounds go faster. I'm still getting 5 to 6 matches in, depending on how the rounds go. So, not saying I'm a proponent for best of one. I was just wanting to see how you as a new player thought about, because it would change the format some. It's just Digimon is a very time-consuming game. And like I said, 45-minute rounds, 50-minute overtime. With after the 5 minutes, 10 minutes to switch between rounds, you're looking at an hour every round at least.
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm there all the time, and like you said, Fridays, they're Fridays for me at my locals. My girlfriend wants to hang out, and she's been amazing. And since September, almost every Friday, I've been going over there, and and afterwards I'll go to her house, and I'm tired or she's tired. So I mean, I doubt they'd change it, right? But honestly, now that I think about it, now that I'm starting to get the game a little bit more, it would be interesting to do, just one, and then if you have time, play after with a free. You know what I mean? I don't know, bet a card or bet a $5 bill or something. Make it interesting. You know what I mean? Something.
Oh,
have
yeah.
fun.
We used to do that a lot in Discords. But yeah, I mean, that's just weird that every Bandai game is best of one besides Digimon.
Why do you think that is? I mean, from you guys, since, you guys have been playing clearly longer than me.
So, Dragon Ball, correct me if I'm wrong, Mikey, but Dragon Ball before Digimon
used to be
was best of 3.
We changed in about 2000, pretty much right around COVID. We changed to best of 1.
So I feel like they had Dragon Ball, which wasn't doing great. It was kind of rocky. And Bandai's like, man, we need to compete with the big 3. What can we do that we can promote? And they're like, okay, Digimon. Then they're like, okay, well, we're going to do best of 3 just like the big 3. And then they kind of see the faults in what's going on. And they're like, oh, well, we got One Piece coming out. Let's do best of 1 like we do in Japan. Let's do best of 1 with Dragon Ball. Let's make all these other games best of 1 because they're quicker and easier. And like, I don't even know in Japan if Yu-Gi-Oh! And I know that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a separate ban list for over there, but I don't know if they're best of 1 or best of 3.
Let
me see. Real quick.
I think it just comes down to time. Think about it. Like, if you're, like we've said, best of 1, we were in round 6. The DBS guys were done and headed to the con. If they've had tickets, they're like, all right, see you guys. We done bought all of our stuff. We're going to go grab some One Piece promos.
No, honestly,
we're still over here eating and sweating like there's still like so many undefeateds.
See, I never knew this was a thing. Now that you guys are bringing this up to me, I think I'd prefer it, in the best interests of time. It'd be nice to go home in a couple hours.
You're still getting to play, and if you want to hang out longer, you're still going to get the same pricing.
That doesn't change.
Yeah, it will change. Like, there are different ratios and stuff. Like I said, like thinking about your Wargreymon deck, actually in a best of 1 format, toolbox decks and things like that, consistency is king. And it's like a lot of these decks, if you look at Japan's meta, you'll see these oddball decks and you're like, how did that work? Well, Jesmon thrived. You sadly weren't around during Jesmon. I loved Jesmon. And he was the first one to be stricken by the ban list because where he was able to unsuspend and swing for, +2 checks, he was just a menace. He could just keep unsuspending if he had this card underneath. And they were like, this is too strong. It's one for too long. And over here, that's when we started to get this bias. Well, best of 1 is so different. It's not good. That's not how we play. We play best of 3s, and Jesmon builds brick houses. Well, over there in Japan, they were like, I brick and lose, or I don't brick and I win. There was less of a chance. There wasn't 3 games to maybe brick, or it was I'm either blasting you or I'm losing. So it was just a really different time frame, and I think that's when the American audience, like, we were all used to best of 3. It gives us that chance of, well, maybe I can win, or, oh, there's a tie. Ties, like, it's not a thing in Japan. You win or lose. There's no tying.
Yeah, that's all we know in Digimon is
ties, baby.
Tiebreakers.
Play yellow. You'll know all about ties. Not the good tie, not the protagonist.
Timeouts.
Oh, shoot, God. I hope we never. That's something that was a big issue too. You probably haven't got to experience this. This was a couple months ago. Was time when Worlds happened. Well, I guess it's been a month or 2 ago. In Pokemon, you have a limited amount of time to search your deck. If not, you're going to look up and your opponent's going to be going, Judge.
Oh.
because they got it in their head like you ain't stalling out. You're not going to draw this to a tie. And Digimon, that's a big thing because they were wanting chess timers. Like
I heard that.
Yeah, so like it got really crazy. I was like, whoa.
But then that's not fair for like yellow decks. That's the mechanic of their deck, right?
Yeah. Like, or if you play a deck that's not Greymon and it's like Leviamon or Lugamon or something that searches or like does things a lot more or has a lot of effects, where Wargreymon's like, yeah, it's 20,000 DP and hits you for +4. You gonna block it? I have piercing. And, you know, it's real simple. It's real fast. So for me, I'm like, why do we need it? And then I started playing yellow and I was like, I feel like that favors me because my deck is just to keep rebuilding and play one card. And now you're over there spending all your time up. And I'm like, I Digivolve, I DNA into Mastamon. I delete something, I swing, and it's your turn. Your turns are so not simple, but they seem quicker. And so that was a weird thing. So this is all stuff that you will probably get to experience the more you go. And as we keep getting faster formats, because I feel like that's the thing now, decks are just fast. Rapidmon is rapid. It is fast. Gabumon, Agumon, like all these decks coming up are just quick. But, you know, time is always a big thing. So I was just wanting to see how you felt because you hadn't got to play a best of one. So, you know, just wanting to get a feel. Best of one. Because maybe we should all try it. Maybe everybody listen to the podcast. Talk to your locals and see. Just play a best of one time. And maybe we'll come back and be like, oh, it sucks. We hate it. You know.
And well, you wasted a day? I mean, right?
Yeah. I would like to try it and see how it does. Because our locals has asked us multiple times, best of one? And I'm like, and we have done it for I think it was the bunny release, the starter deck for Rapidmon.
Double Typhoon?
Yeah. And it went really fast. Of course I won.
Wait, you tried it?
Yeah, we did, and I won. But we only played like 3 games because it was just like, and we're done. I was undefeated.
There's time for trades and there's time for other free gaming after, right? Like the shop is still getting their money. People are, you know.
Oh yeah, they're not losing money. That's just more time spent in there. I mean, you're still going to buy a snack. You're still going to.
It's more time for Mikey to decide that he's buying a box too.
Yeah,
dumping that money. That was for the kids. No, it wasn't.
Or buying something stupid like, Mikey, I thought you was buying that new starter deck. Well, Pokemon just dropped and they had leftover, you know, whatever.
Wait, so you're currently in Pokemon 2 then?
Oh yeah.
Jeez, dude.
I don't have a lot of time to play these. Man. I play a lot of online Pokemon. A lot.
I'm about to say I can't imagine like I ain't built that way right now, man. I can only afford like a box and then that's like shoot.
In Pokemon I buy one deck. Like I have been living off Lugia since Lugia came out. And when they were like, Lugia's back, I was like, so am I, baby. Been living off of him for the last like 6 sets.
Oh, so it carries you then?
Oh yeah,
that's fun. That's kind of cool because then
so Pokemon has a rotation, and they rotate cards out every. I don't even know the timeline for it, but they just went through a rotation.
About a year.
Wait, when you say rotation, you mean cards you can't use?
Yeah,
right. So they print on the cards now. They have a block.
Get the hell out of here! Alphabet. Are you serious?
We have a block. We have a block on Digimon.
They haven't used it yet, but they did start printing them.
So if we can get this to focus. Well, dang it. It's this little focus.
That's okay. I have that Vmon right here.
Yeah, it's the little O2 down in the corner. You'll see it.
Sorry, Drew. I interrupted you, though, dude. What were you saying?
No, go ahead, Drew.
It's the blocks for Pokemon, so they rotate out, but then they reintroduce the cards. Like Ultra Ball is a card that is reintroduced in every single block. But it takes time for it to come in. They're like, let's get rid of Ultra Ball for a couple of weeks or a couple of sets and then bring it back.
01? Like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then there'll be 02.
No, and then...
See, we haven't had to do it yet, but it is there.
Is that objectively 100% why they're doing it?
They never said. They've never said.
So
they just said, we're printing this on cards.
Didn't tell us why.
Mm-mm.
But all my whole deck has like a mixture of all of them, though.
Well,
Yep.
but that's why so we had our first reprint set, and all of those have the new stamp. So all the cards like Magna Angemon, a lot of the Lilithmon, Omnimon, a lot of those got a new stamp on them. So see, not saying, just it is there.
No. He's like, it's a possibility.
Yeah. We talked about this
So
about a
you're
year
saying there's a
ago
chance.
because we were like, wait a minute, we're getting our first reprint set. There's blocks on here. And so far, the only thing they've used that for is to make kind of Ultimate Cup rules. Like it allows you to know what you can play in Ultimate Cups and things of that nature until Ultimate Cups became just a pretty much standard format, you know?
Yeah, so right now it says on the wiki that their plans are to utilize them for various formats, but no plans to operate them in the near future.
Legacy format.
So, yeah. So like Pokemon's got that format.
GLC?
That you can play anything. Yeah, so you can play anything.
From black and white up.
Standard is, yeah. They're just giving themselves the option.
Should they need to? Meanwhile,
we're not far enough along. Yeah, well, I mean, we're not like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon where, you know, we're only going to be 16 sets in for the US here in a couple weeks. So I don't think we have enough cards in our card pool to really rotate anything out yet. Because with Pokemon, usually you start like with Sword and Shield, started off with A, you know, Sword and Shield A, and then B, C, and we just rotated out. Was it C? C just rotated out. So, you know, you still got your D, E's, F's. Now we're on H. So usually you keep 4 letterings in, and then when you start to see the new letter, like when we start to see I's, well, that'll be almost time to get rid of the D's or the E's, you know. And that's just how they keep the format regulated, because Mew VMAX was a terror for the whole Sword and Shield expansion, most of the Paldea expansion, and then they're like, finally, every bit of that deck is rotated out. There's nothing left.
So that's one thing for Pokemon. There isn't a ban list, right? So that's how they
regulate their issues.
Deal with that kind of stuff. Yeah.
But at the same time, it allows everybody to play what they want at least one part of the year, right?
Oh, well, maybe multiple years. Like me, I've been playing Lugia for almost 2 years because, yes, I do lose some cards, but then Pokemon will reprint. Hey, remember Chinchino that got rotated out? Well, guess what? We got a new Minchino. Yeah, we got a new Minchino out that helps your deck. Well, they don't say that, but of course, as players, we see it and go, oh yeah, we can still play this deck. And Lugia's went through 3 iterations since I've played it. It's went through its normal phase, and then it went through another phase where we're like, oh, we lost some cards. Well, we're going to use this type of Pokemon, the single strike in it. Then that rotated out. Then we're like, well, like I said, now we got some new cards we're putting in it. And yeah, it may not be as good as it once was, but it's good in this format and it's still playable.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how Pokemon regulates their stuff. Whereas Digimon, we just ban things, and well, we've taken stuff off the ban list too. So you got to come around for that.
Mm-hmm. I heard, who was it? Tommy? I heard everybody made a fuss about it. I heard about a guy that burnt his Tommy.
Yeah.
And then regretted it or something. What was that about?
Yeah, they right after it got banned, he burnt the Tommies, and they were like, the alt art. He's like, I'm never going to need these again. And then they brought it back, and it skyrocketed.
And it's funny because Tommy's not a menace yet. I don't know if any.
Yet?
Well, what I'm saying is like, power creep is super real in all TCGs. So there's things that just work better or more efficiently than Tommy, because until we get newer stuff, or Bandai's really good to help out older archetypes. I always preach this, Planet coming from Dragon Ball Super. A deck would die, and you're like, man, and then they'd be like, hey, guess what? In this set, we're going to release Frieza Army support. And you're like, yeah, I can play my old deck again, or things like that. And Bandai's done that with this. It might take you 3 sets to build the full power version of your deck, but you'll eventually get to play Shine Greymon and play it at full power. And then they'll print new support for him and stuff rolls out. Gallantmon's a prime example of identity crisis. He's went through multiple iterations, had tons of support and still never been really amazing. And, because I think Bandai's just trying to find, without making him too powerful, without making him broken, I think they're trying to, what can we make to make Gallantmon great again? But that's how they do it. They always try to go back and we're getting new Chessmon support. Chessmon was a super fun deck. It just didn't have a lot. And out of the blue, they're like, hey, we're going to print some new Chessmon stuff. Is it for Chessmon? Not so much, but it will work in that. Good
enough.
Yeah.
Bandai, just give me Tyrannomon support, please.
You've had several things for Tyrannomon.
Nice. I need more.
How many, just
Greymon levels of more.
No, well, yeah. Well, I think they should, technically. They try. It's just, they never make it, crazy. The new Tyrannomon support isn't really for Tyrannomon. It's for, not Digiplease, but Sock, whatever it's called.
The Syndrilmon.
Yeah.
It's in the starter deck. But I'm using it. It's mine.
The moral of the story is you came in at a great time, soldier. Great time. We're about to eat.
I'm having a good time. Shoot.
Over the next 7 months, we are going to have more Digimon cards and products than we can know what to do with.
Nah, dude, I'm looking forward to it, especially when that green deck came out. You know how it was it'd be green only, right? I thought about how much I would love to play Tentomon, and I was trying to put my bug stuff together. There's not a lot of good bug stuff, and I'm like, well, what do you mean? And then I was like, oh, okay. I'd like to see a lot more Mega Kabuterimon or Hercules Kabuterimon. There's only
in BT16, you're gonna eat. You finally
get
that finally get that final piece to be like, now I'm a menace. It's like
the boss card.
Yeah, now you're all in trouble. We're gonna see a lot of bugs probably, and especially in the English format, because that's the thing. Japan's done moved on to the new sauce. So that's what's great about Digimon. Something new. There's something for everybody at this point. Hopefully you can find your favorite Digimon and build a deck around it.
And people say it's dying. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about, dude? Come on now.
That's like me saying Dragon Ball Super is dying, because in our area, even with the relaunch, it's not doing great in our area. There's some card shops that don't even carry it. But then you'll go to the DBS Discord and they're like, match, fight me, 1v1, all day long. And I had to mute the channel. So it's it's not dying. It's just because maybe in your area it's not active. Which sucks.
You guys too. Well, I forget, Drew, you said you had to drive an hour? Or both of you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, which when we first started the store we went to at Corbin, it was the 4 of us showing up.
4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Every week. Yeah, we would show up every week, and then some people came in while we were playing the tournament. And they're like, "What's this? What are you playing? What game is this?" Digimon. And then somebody from one of those groups would come in and be like, "Hey, I'm starting to play Digimon. Here I am." And now there's a Facebook group that's got 12, 13 people in it. And it started out with the 4 of us showing up. And when we would show up, if there only 2 or 3 of us could make it, the store was like, hey, we've got all these promos. We only give them out during the tournaments. and nobody showed up. So here's some extra packs.
Jeez.
Thanks for showing up, at least trying.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a way to build a community if they're not there. The only way you're gonna get people to play is if you show, hey, I'm actively participating, I'm here, I want to play Digimon. If anybody wants to play, I'll teach you how to play.
That's what my cousin got into.
One of the other guys that we had on Mike Wright, he was talking about how he had like 12 or 13 different decks that he rolls up to locals with, and he's like, oh, you want to play? Pick a deck. Here's all these pre-built decks. You can play it for the night.
Jeez. That's nice though, because like you said, it's if somebody wants to play, they can. You know?
Yeah. Well, when we went to CM Games, like you said, the guys were giving you cards. I'd taken a Tyrannomon deck that I'd built, and I was just messing around with it, trying something new. And one of the guys came up after the tournament. He's like, hey, put this in your deck. It may help. And he gave me an Ancient Greymon, which was like a $15 card at the time. He's like, this may help you.
What the heck? See? That's what I love about it, man. They're so helpful. Like, I feel like I gotta, once I become like on the level of you guys, you know, I gotta, when I have extras and I'm not using it, I want to then do that for somebody else trying to get into the game. You know what I mean? Kind of give back.
Yeah, because that's going to add to the community of people that are playing. And that's the only way you can do it. You can't be this warlord, I'm the best Digimon player, nobody's better than me.
No, I for sure am not that.
I've put you in your place enough to know.
And it's always you. Like, I can steamroll you and Mega Sweaty. Everybody else, and even Tiny now I've beat a couple of times. I just feel so confident. And you want me to lose my confidence? Let me sit down across the table from Drew. And it's not how they act. They act great. They're the great guys. I'm just saying, Drew and Mega Sweaty, I'm like, there was nothing I could do. You are literally the great Egyptian king. Like, the heart of the cards is with you all.
Well, okay, so then what is your guys' go-to deck? Like, if I ask you to pick a deck right now that you can rely on, that you're like, okay, I played this for a long time, or I just built this, what is that? You guys asked me my favorite. I want to know your guys' favorite.
Oh, mine's Rustarano. Like, it's garbage, but I'm taking it. I'm taking it to a regional.
It's not garbage. It's not a garbage deck. It actually, when it works, it sucks to play against. It's miserable.
So, what does it do? It's green, right? I think Tyrannomon is green.
Yeah, so it focuses on reducing cost and kind of going into your boss monster and piercing.
Oh, fudge, that type?
Yeah.
So, and the way I've got it built right now is it's more trash security, and then I get a check too. But if I can swing twice and trash 4 out of 5 years security, you're not getting any effects from it. And then game.
Damn. That's almost as crazy as the Greymon when you have all 5 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds fun though. What about you?
You already know mine. Wargreymon. If I'm gonna roll up,
okay, your version of Wargreymon.
Yeah, if I'm gonna roll up, like I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna slap red Wargrey, not red base black Wargreymon. It's red Wargrey. That's my go-to. I've just played with it so much. I feel so confident in it. I know what I can't beat. I know what I can beat. So, you know, I like it because I know when to scoop. It's like I can look at my hand and go, all right, I'm going to draw one more time. If it's not this, going on to game 2.
That's how I feel already. I mean, if I know I don't get any, like, you know, that 1, 2, 3, I'm like, well, there goes my
it's hard. It's hard. Like
puzzle.
You got to have that tower. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My jank deck I love is Jellymon.
As long as I've got security, as long as I have security, I'm not scooping.
You're like the guy that doesn't forfeit
I will not
in
scoop
league.
until. Listen, I will not scoop until all those security. If those security are gone, I'll scoop. But if I have at least one, that bomb could be in there.
He's like, not giving up.
Well,
yeah, I won't concede until I'm like, okay. If I know I'm done next time, I'm like, there's no reason to drag it out. That's where the time aspect comes in.
Yeah. Oh, listen, when there's 2 Hades forces in my trash, I'm like, look, there's no bombs in here unless you hit Omnimon.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
done.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, it looks like I'm on the same page then. It's not that different than your deck. I know for a fact that if my Hades Force is in my hand, it's not going to be in there. You know what I mean? Like,
listen, when Hades Force is in your hand, there's always a chance.
If you don't have a Digimon on the board, though.
Oh well, yeah, there is that.
Yeah, if you're lacking those sources to play it, then you're in trouble.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, that's when you scoop. You go, all right.
And then the only reason that Death Xmon is in there is because I got traumatized by this Commandramon and I think a Jellymon that I played against, and I was like, no, screw that, I'm putting this guy in there. Because I was going through my deck or my binder, and they were like, you have Death Xmon? How come you have that in your deck? I'm like, should I?
Mm-hmm. Like, he fits in anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they're like. It fits in anything. You
look across the board and Death X is in your hand. It's like in those old westerns where they have like double aces or whatever. It's like I see 6 Digimon and 5 Tamers. Death X.
And as long as they have 3 cards, if you have the memory, you kind of, you know what I mean? Because it's not like you're paying 3, 6, 9, 12. Let's say 12 is the average. If you have 3 memory,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're not giving them a lot to rebuild. Plus,
at the end of their turn,
someone dies.
He's doing it again.
It helps against decks like Numamon and Commandramon and these decks that want to sometimes kill things to rebuild. They can play 6 things, but guess what? They're dying. The lowest DP is dying at the end of this turn.
The only problem I've had that is I searched Death X so many times, and it's like, you know what I mean? If you search them, it's kind of like, eh. So.
Yep, or it's insecurity.
Yeah, or it's insecurity, and you're like, damn it.
Killed a Commandramon with it, and you're like, ugh.
That's not how I wanted to kill him, but okay.
Not like that. Oh, that's something you could think of, too. Death X is a great... Omnimon is good for closing. I like it at 2. Omnimon X Antibody is also a very devastating card in any basically red or blue based where you have Omnimon in it, a deck like that. Omnimon X allows you to delete something, trash the security. You get to look at the security and trash a card. And then, sometimes you can swing for game, get rid of the threat, get rid of the option card, whatever. And that Wargreymon deck, especially where stuff can be Omnimon in name as well, I've had him up to 24,000 DP, and it's like, go ahead, swing over him, baby, try.
Okay, that would be the BT10 then. What it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I have him. Yeah. I just haven't been sure. Maybe I could swap out the Death X and make him a 1 of. Maybe.
I run 1 Omnimon. I'm brave. I run 1 Omnimon.
Oh wow! Yeah, I ran 1 for a while, and I was like, I never get him.
You never see him, but it feels bad when you're like, I have both Omnimons.
You got 2 in hand.
Like, exactly. Yeah, damn it.
Feels terrible.
Okay, so maybe I'll think about adding that one too. Let's see.
Hey, you have, like I said, you got like 7 different variations of this deck you can fool around with and play.
No, definitely. I think even more though, I'm going to take into consideration the Greymon that you told me about of Digivolving with Memory, because a lot of the times I find myself, I got my pieces. It'd be nice to have another little small guy right here. So I'll hard play another searcher to get my second stat going, and then by that time, it's like, what do I do with them?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And a lot of decks, like coming into this format, decks to be afraid of that could counter that is, for instance, Rapidmon or Mega Gargo. He's one of your biggest threats in that, because with Rapidmon, he's able to swing and reduce things by 4,000. Also, what's nice about it is he's a 6,000 Greymon. He doesn't die to Shine Greymon Ruin mode, which as you play more and start playing pretty much any yellow or purple deck, you will learn to hate that card and understand why it's $65.
Ruin mode?
Yeah.
Oh no, I played against it. One of the guys who's helped me the most, I played him. He had a yellow deck. He was like, "Wait, is it yellow? Yeah, he can fit in yellow, right?
Yeah, he can fit in yellow."
He's like, "Oh my god, I'm playing against you!" And the whole game, he's like, man, like, duh. And then he pulled out ruin mode, and I was screwed.
Yeah,
And I was like,
it's nasty.
shoot, there's nothing I could do.
You can't rebuild
Man.
after it's like
No, you can't push out either.
Mm-hmm.
If I had the memory, I could have pushed out with Breakthrough of Courage, but when he pushed out, you can't do that
because it's a blanket. Though that's blanket effects are rough. Venusmon yellow is one of the worst to have those blanket effects that just. That's another thing. Venusmon is your worst nightmare as a Wargreymon
My yellow
player.
deck has that. I think I have 4 Venusmon. Somebody told me they were good.
It's like, hey, you can't swing with anything that has sec whatever. If it's sec plus, if it's sec minus, you can't swing. And it's like,
oof. Damn.
Because your whole strategy
kind of covers the counter.
Yeah. Yep. Yellow's a rough matchup.
Wow. Goodness. I need to work on my yellow deck.
Oh, yeah. Yellow's my second. Yellow's my now second go-to. I've built a bunch.
Really?
Yellow hybrid, Venusmon. I love yellow. It does the opposite. It's like, I'm going to sec minus you and reduce your DP into oblivion. Red is, I'm going to raise my DP and give me sec plus.
Once I get used to it a little bit more, but right now I'm not fast enough for freaking yellow. It takes me too long to search. I had a 15-minute turn, and they were like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Because you're like, "What do I do?"
Yeah.
So what's nice about Wargreymon? I will play this. It's the only way.
Exactly. Sorry, I hope I didn't derail what you guys normally talk about. Like I was just kind of going with the flow.
This is what we do.
We just get on and it's like chatting with the boys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, no, dude.
If people stick around, hey, they stick around. If not, that's their problem.
No, but this is awesome. I've learned so much in what, an hour and 30 minutes? Shoot.
Yeah.
You guys have helped me. Man, I'm definitely gonna add. So I'll need to get BT. Was this 5 Greymon? But other than that,
He shouldn't be expensive. You can probably even buy the cool. I think it's a Digivice alt art for maybe $8 or $10.
What? Hold on now. I might want that. Where's that at? BT5?
Yeah. Look up BT5 alternate arts. They could have shot up in price, but Greymon, like I said, isn't really stupidly popular right now. So lots of his stuff is cheap.
BT5. Well, I only see one. What the heck? Why do I only see one?
This is it. It's the cool. It's this guy.
Oh yeah. There's a Digivice in there.
I think it came from the promos. He shouldn't be too expensive.
It says $2, $2.50.
There you go, and it looks cool.
Yeah, it does.
But if you really, really want your cards to look cool, you gotta don't break the bank to bling out your jank with Prismatic Defenders.
Yay.
With what? Prismatic Defenders.
Prismatic Defenders.
Hold on, you froze. Did you show something to the camera?
Yeah. So these guys are one of our team sponsors.
Hold on, you froze
these
again.
Are the matte sleeves.
There we go. Oh, okay. How do those look?
Those are the matte sleeves that I got. Here is
Prismatic Defenders.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So these are the hollow full ones.
Oh, hold on now.
Yep.
That makes any card look pretty sick, huh?
Yep. Makes everything look sick.
Hold on, do they have perfect fits?
Yes.
Yes, they have
do.
perfect fits that are hollow, and then they have the hollow sleeves. These are the Valentine's ones that they drop.
Ooh, okay, then I'll get those before May, because I just got some outer sleeves for the triple, because I bought. So I have the outer sleeves, and then I bought some Imperialdramon sleeves, obviously for the deck when it comes out. So I'll get the holographic perfect sleeve, and then friggin'
we also got a drop coming up. So Pulsar's back in stock. Those are the heart-shaped ones, but they're having a new sleeve pattern drop in July. So,
yep.
Oh wait, is there a link I can use from you guys? You said that your partner?
Is SecCheck 15
at discount or at checkout to get a 15% off your order.
Ooh, you guys may have done it. You may have done it. You may have but $6 isn't too much for a pack of 100.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're out of stock. Damn.
The restock.
That's the issue.
The restock is coming. This is two dudes. They're wonderful. They're old buddies. They're kind of like us. They're just buddies that started this, and they used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic. And Magic cards were so expensive to buy, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Was so expensive to buy these different patterns. They're like, you know what? I'll just buy the lowest price one, and we're going to make a sleeve that makes it look cool. And that's when I came up with the slogan, "Don't break the bank to bling out your jank."
Wait, you guys actually came up with this?
No, we came up with a slogan.
Just a slogan.
I was like, wait a minute, you guys made this? What the hell? Hold on.
I wish. Yeah, Richard and they do a great job.
So last year, whenever we first was last year or year before when we first got sponsored?
Year before.
No, you did? How cool.
Yeah, so right after that, they sent us a message and they're like, hey, we're working on restock, but we're almost out of everything.
Yeah, they just supplied our local, in my town, we have a coffee shop called Manor House. They just placed a huge 100+ box order. So we used our stuff to go ahead, and we're going to get 7 packs of cool black starfoiled and orange starfoiled, the Orion starfoiled that we're going to give away.
That is kick ass, man. No, I'm gonna keep an eye out. Do you guys update people when they're back in stock, or do I just keep track of the?
I've been making some posts whenever they did the Valentine's ones. I posted
because these look sick, dude. Wait, do they all have designs, or are some of them just regular hollow?
They won't let me.
They do have a regular hollow.
They've got Pulsar,
because out of stock,
which is like just a rainbow pattern. They got Starfoil, which is stars. Pulsar, which is hearts. Sorry, Pulsar. Yeah, what's the normal one? The rainbow one. I forget. And then Shatterfoil went really fast. That's what my Melga deck is in, and it looks like glass breaking. It was really cool. They're coming out with a new one.
That deck deserves to be broken. I hate it. It destroys my.
I love it.
Oh man. What do you mean? I'm sorry. What? It's still your turn? Yeah, it's been 15. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna swing again. I'm gonna gain 2 memory. Trash 2. Gain a memory off trashing 2. Thanks to Matt by suspending him.
My gosh.
The only way you're gonna kill me is if there's a security bomb in here.
Yeah, right? Like the Hades Force.
Oh yeah.
Living on a prayer.
Please God be a sick bomb in here, or I am dead this turn.
Oh wait, the fracture you said, right?
Yes. Yep.
Because that one's the one that looks the nicest.
That's their newest one too. So like they were making these way before we came along and found them, and yeah, that was one of their newest patterns. And it was funny because they had made it before, and we did a box opening. I was like, oh my god, this is so sick, this must be the new thing. And then Richard was like, no, that was old. I was like, you should remake this.
Seriously, look at these, dude. I'm glad you guys turned me on to these. My god, look at that. I want the fracture. I'm getting the fracture.
They're probably out of stock.
No, they are. I'm just waiting.
Oh yeah. Because I always do that every time they come in. I'm like, I don't think I need any more, but it couldn't hurt.
Well, because you know you're gonna make a new deck eventually.
Oh yeah.
If you're in my position and you're new, you like, I can stock up on 2 or 3 of these and be like, all right, I should be good for a while because
they make all kinds of other stuff too. If you play Magic, they make some really awesome MTG tokens that they partnered out with a person, and they are super cute.
Yeah. So, Mikey, you got anything else?
I've just loved these episodes where we get to have people on. Soldier, it's been a blast.
Yeah.
Yes. I love your energy. I love talking to new people that play the game, because I was ranting today about how I don't think there's a deck that I just love all the Digimon decks now. I'll play anything at this point. I just love the game. So it's great to have you as part of our community.
Yes, no, thank you guys for inviting me, man. Like, it's really awesome. I've learned so much talking to you, and it's, as if talking to friends that I've known who like Digimon. You know what I mean? It's got that vibe. I really appreciate that, man. I'm sorry if I've interrupted you guys a couple of times. I'm like trying to absorb and write,
You're good. You're good. Yeah, so you said I found you through TikTok. You said you had a YouTube channel, or
one that's not really not worth playing just yet. It's only Dead by Daylight stuff. That's why.
Hey,
I basically.
There might be Dead by Daylight fans out there. Plug it, bro.
Yeah. Well, it's really just my TikTok, the Soldier First _ class. That's the one where I've been posting Dead by Daylight. But as soon as I posted one Digimon thing and that started to get some people, I was like, why not put my Digimon journey up here? So
exactly.
Yeah. I'm hoping to post some stuff too. I hope you do too. I saw your video. I think you're like, what do you guys want to see? Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Honestly, the clips.
Yeah, I've got some ideas cooking. I went and ordered the little TikTok mics, so I've got those.
Oh, right on.
Pick those up. So I got some ideas. I've had stuff cooking for forever.
Do it, man. Don't be like me. I got all these and I'm not doing anything with it. What good is it?
Exactly. So. I'm tired of doing cap cuts all the time. I want to expand.
But they're good though. I look at those and I'm like, how the freak does he do this? Like, what are you doing?
Cap cut.
Jeez.
Go check it out. Yeah. That's where it's at.
I will do.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Go check out Soldier First Class on TikTok. We'll have him linked down in the description. Till next time, thanks for watching.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye.